The origins of death. One evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon and the sky painted itself in a tapestry of oranges and purples, Juma decided he could no longer contain his curiosity. He approached the village elders, a council of wise men and women who were the keepers of tradition and knowledge. At their center, seated upon a weathered wooden stool, was Elder Mzi, the village's oldest and most revered elder. His eyes as deep and ancient as the stories he held. With humility and respect, Juma spoke, "Elders, I have heard whispers of death, a mysterious journey from which no one returns. But what is it? Why do we grow old and pass away? I wish to understand." The elders exchanged knowing glances, acknowledging the time had come to share with Juma and the young villagers the age-old legend, the origin of death. They gestured for him to join them by the crackling communal fire, where the stories of generations were woven into the very smoke that danced to the night's chorus of crickets. Elder Mzi, his voice a gentle river of wisdom, began to recount the legend, weaving words like fine threads into the fabric of Juma's understanding. In the days of old, Elder Mzi began, his voice resonating with the weight of ages past, our village thrived in a golden era of immortality. In those times, our people lived without the shadow of death, and joy flowed through our hearts like the mighty river that nourishes our lands. As Elder Mzi spoke, Juma listened with rapt attention, his imagination carried away by the tale. The village was described as a utopia, a place where laughter echoed through the ages, where friendships never parted, and where the fields yielded bountiful harvests without fail. But, Elder Mzi continued, as the years flowed like a river, curiosity began to stir within our people. They longed to meet the guardian spirit of death, the deity that watched over our village and granted us the gift of immortality. Their curiosity grew like a persistent seed, pushing its roots ever deeper. In hushed conversations by moonlight, stories of the guardian spirit's secrets spread like wildfire. Juma's ancestors, bold and fearless, were among those who could no longer resist the temptation. They decided to embark on a treacherous journey into the heart of the sacred forest, where the guardian spirit was rumored to dwell. They were warned by the other villagers of the consequences that might befall them should they seek the spirit's knowledge. The villagers spoke of the delicate balance between life and death, and how meddling with it could bring unforeseen calamity. Deep within the heart of the sacred forest, the air hung heavy with anticipation as Juma's ancestors and the group of villagers inched closer to their fateful meeting with death itself. Their immortality had long puzzled them, for they had witnessed the natural order of life and death play out around them, yet they remained untouched by its grasp. Then, as they reached a clearing shrouded in an otherworldly stillness, death appeared. A spectral figure, draped in an aura of mystery and finality. Its presence was a stark contrast to their eternal existence, a reminder of the fragility of all living things. The villagers, in awe of this surreal encounter, gazed upon death with a mix of reverence and trepidation. They had come to learn the secret of their immortality from the very source of mortality itself. With a voice that resonated with the eternal echoes of countless souls, death spoke. "You have ventured where few dare tread. The knowledge you seek is not to be taken lightly, for it is a truth that will forever alter your existence. Are you prepared to pay the price for this revelation?" Despite the foreboding warning, the villagers were undeterred. Their desire to understand the balance between life and death eclipsed their fear. They agreed to pay the price, whatever it may be, in exchange for the truth they sought. With a solemn nod, death began to reveal the profound truth. The secret of your immortality lies in the natural cycle of life and death. All living things must experience the embrace of death, for it is the crucible from which new life emerges. To be immortal is to exist outside this cycle, but in doing so, you disrupt the harmony of existence. The villagers listened with a mixture of awe and dread as death unfolded the intricate tapestry of life, explaining the delicate balance that sustained the world. They began to understand that their immortality had come at a great cost to the natural order. Yet, in their unwavering quest for knowledge, they chose to bear this burden, to disrupt the privilege they had long enjoyed. They left the encounter with death, some comprehending the gravity of their decision, while others remained blinded by their egos. After their spine-chilling encounter with death itself, a sense of impending doom settled upon the once tranquil village. They had dared to pry open the door to the unknown, and now they would pay the price for their relentless curiosity. As weeks turned into months, the village experienced a series of deaths that sent shivers through their now mortal souls. Some succumbed to the ravages of old age, their bodies withering away as if time had suddenly caught up with them. Others met their fate through accidents that defied explanation, and still more fell victim to mysterious illnesses that left no room for hope. The once celebrated mortality had become a curse, a twisted mockery of their existence. The villagers were perplexed and filled with grief, their confusion giving way to anger and bitterness. They cursed the group that had ventured into the sacred forest in search of such forbidden knowledge. They had disrupted the natural order and unleashed chaos upon their once peaceful lives. The village, once united, became divided by a chasm of anger and blame. The rift between those who had sought knowledge and those who had not grew wider with each passing day. The village was a place of tension and turmoil, where mistrust and resentment festered like an unhealed wound. Amid the turmoil and suffering that gripped the village, a profound transformation began to take shape. As they continued to grapple with the unfathomable concept of death, some began to find meaning in their struggles. They realized that it was the very fragility of existence that gave life its value. Each passing moment, once taken for granted, now held a preciousness that transcended their previous understanding. The cycle of life and death, once a source of dread, became a poignant reminder of the interconnectedness of all things. The birth of a new child, the blossoming of a flower, and the fading of a once bright star. Through their suffering, the village, although divided, began to learn the profound lessons that life and death impart. They slowly accepted the inevitability of mortality and sought solace in the knowledge that their existence was now more meaningful, more poignant, and more beautiful precisely because of its impermanence. One by one, those who had been immortal breathed their last, joining the natural order of existence they had disrupted. Their passing, though tinged with sadness, was also a return to balance, a reintegration into the eternal cycle of life and death. As the years flowed like a meandering river, Juma, once a curious boy, had blossomed into a revered elder. One moonlit evening, beneath the same African sky that had borne witness to their relentless pursuit of knowledge, Juma gathered the younger generation around a fire that crackled with ancient secrets. His voice, a soothing river of wisdom, wove a tale that thrilled and resonated. A tale of daring curiosity, of mysteries unraveled, and of the chilling consequences that had befallen their village. And so, beneath the same African moon, the story of the origin of death lived on. A timeless parable of audacious curiosity, profound discoveries, and the cycle of life. Thank you for watching our story, The Origins of Death, and we hope you enjoyed it. What lessons did you draw from this story? Share your thoughts with us in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe and be part of the tribe. Thank you for watching The Tales of the Savannah. We will see you next time, in the Savannah.